this little hottie right there on the cover. Well, who's that? Is that Miss Lorelei? I think it is. That's you. So, guys, Lorelei was actually was on our cover issue. She was on our first premiere issue that we did. So we can't believe, we were talking about this the other day, that it has been 1 year that we started that. It's so crazy how much time has flown. So what did you think about that shoot, Lorelei? Was that?
Honestly, it was like one of the best shoots that just went so smoothly, just so nice. Like everybody was comfortable. Like I was working with Paris Viper, and she's so cool. And like, yeah, it was fun. It was really fucking fun. And the venue was so dope too. Like what?
Yeah, we used that house in Pacific Beach with the tropical pool. It was a good time. And that was, I mean, like I had wanted to shoot with you for quite some time.
Yeah.
And, like I know photo shoots weren't like huge in your wheelhouse. So
no, yeah, it was just your basic stripper bitch, like just trying to make some money. And then when I first met you, like I found out you were working for the club and I was like, wait, what? Are you serious? And then, we got to shooting and shit. And like, it's been a blast. It's been a crazy ride.
That meeting, ladies and gentlemen, may or may not have taken place in a dark room in a seated area, if you know what I mean.
I had no idea until like after I was done giving the lap dance. And I was like, fuck, what? Is this allowed? Am I going to get in trouble?
Yeah, and I'm literally, guys are like, I want to lap dance with her. And I'm like, I want to lap dance with her so I could ask her to model for me. That's what I like. And little did I know that, like, you're like, oh, okay, I'll put your card with the other 20 guys who wanted to photograph me.
Well, it's funny because the management came up to me and they're like, yeah, you got to go get a dance from him. You got to do it. I was like, yeah, sure. So like, I went over to you and like, boom.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah. Maybe someday, Brian, we'll go travel to Huntsville, Alabama. We'll go travel over to Alabama and go check out Lorelei and her live show. So
yeah, it is.
This is for Lorelei, yes, but that's the Alabama part is a maybe, a hard maybe for me. Now I say that because as a New Yorker living in Los Angeles, I went to high school in Atlanta, Georgia. So wow. I got my dose of the South, and it's different. It's different. I'm not being critical, but it's different down there.
It is, yeah. It is very different. Like the thought of moving here was just like, nope, not at all, not one bit. In fact, like the first, I think 3 months I was here, I was like, I want to leave. I want to go, but. The more you explore and meet people, you're just so comfortable. And like people are just super nice and down to earth. And then you kind of realize like, wow, people are so shitty in California and they don't give a fuck about you. The Southern hospitality is real out here. And that's what pulls me in closer to the community and what it has to offer. So
it is kind of nice that so I have a buddy out here. I want to say they spent just under $1 million for their house, right? Like, like Silver Lake area, like $850,000.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, the same house in Atlanta, even, which is obviously a bigger area than Huntsville, maybe $350,000, maybe.
Oh,
I mean, it's just like those are some of the nuances that I do find interesting. I mean, that is one of the great things about the South is you can get a phenomenal place at a phenomenal price, have land and yard. And, that is kind of cool.
It's a great place to raise kids. It is.
I'll give it that. I'll definitely give it that. Like I have to say, I mean, I tend to find trouble, but even like high school and stuff, like it wasn't that bad. Even like when you were really quick story, like one time we're literally everybody in the car is 18, guy and a girl, my buddy and his girlfriend in the front seat, me and another buddy and another girl in the back seat, a keg in the middle, a keg. Michael Jackson blaring on the radio. The other dude decides to hang out the window to take a piss.
What the fuck?
We get pulled over. Let me just say, nobody went to jail. Nobody went to jail. Nobody got a ticket. No, the only thing that happened was we got followed home to make sure we get there. And the keg was obviously taken away. I mean, that doesn't happen. And it was just more like the dude was
That
like,
does not happen in California, dude.
Yeah, because he was like, okay, basically, you're a car full of fucking morons. So, hey, morons, here's what we're going to do. We're not going to get you in any trouble, but yeah.
We're taking your keg.
Yeah, we're taking your keg.
We're taking your keg back to the station house. And
I think there might have been some weed too, but the weed was the weed was handed over. Like we immediately were like, hey, because he was going to see the keg. And he just like dumped that on the ground. It was like, yeah, whatever with that. So yeah, there are other perks to the South. I mean, that's for sure.
Wow, that's wild.
Will this be your first summer because those heat up quick.
Yes, but I plan on coming back to San Diego during the summer. So I don't really want to experience the summer because my boyfriend and I, we spent the summer in Miami. Oh. That was fucking awful. No thanks.
Oh, really?
When they say like it's worse here, or it's like, oh, it's not that bad, like Miami's worse, I don't care. Like humidity, I don't do it. I don't do it. So I definitely want to go back to the coast, and like I like the dry heat, and
a hot oven, I could do that all day long. You're like 102 degrees with like 50% humidity, fine. 102 degrees, exactly. 102 degrees with 95% humidity, fuck no.
Thank you. No, it's like in a coffin. You're just in a coffin, just suffocating. It's like that scene in Kill Bill where she's like in a grave and she can't breathe, and she's just and just the thought of that, like humidity. Ugh.
Yeah, except you're not a badass martial artist that you could get out of the whole thing,
Just like you're just blocking the humidity, just
I don't know how people do it. And you see people in like suits and shirts and ties, and they walk around. They got to go to work all day. It's like,
we're like exercising outside. Like, okay, Susan, it's a bit much. Like, go home. It's excessive.
So what are you doing? What are you doing in Huntsville? Like, what's?
Oh, taking my clothes off for money. What do you think I'm doing?
I mean, is it a good scene? Like, I mean, I know
it's different. So I've never worked at an 18 and up club, but this one's 18 and up. And, like, I think my first night I made over $1,000. So I was like, okay, this is like the club for me. And then like, it just got harder and harder. And what I think it is because is like a lot of the guys here, they either like really fat chicks or really thin chicks, and I'm neither. So that was hard. And it's not a very diverse club. There's a lot of blonde-headed, teenagers walking around. So not like it's competition or anything, but guys seem to go more for the younger girls than somebody like me or older. So I always lie and say I'm like 25 or 23, and they're just like, "Whoa, crazy! Me too." I'm like, "Oh my god!" But
wait, you're telling me that girls lie?
Oh, girls lie all the time.
I know, right?
At the club, I find it very hard for me to lie. Just in general, I don't know why. I just like can't come up with like a white lie talking to somebody face to face. But at the club, like I'll lie straight up. Like sometimes I take other people's stories that I've talked to, and I'll just say it at the club, like, yeah, I'm a computer coder. I know C++ or Python, like I take that information, I soak it up, and I spit it out there. But when I'm like just my basic ass self, I'm like, I'm a stripper. Like, I hope it's okay.
So you were saying that there's such a difference between California people and like people down in the South. And do you see that like really in the club too, with like the people you work with? And like, I don't want you to talk shit on the girls you work with, but how what's the difference? What's the difference between working in Cali and the difference between working in Alabama?
There's a big difference. There is. So I find that California is way stricter than Alabama. The things that I'm able to do on stage in Alabama, I would not be caught dead doing it in fucking San Diego. Like,
which is the footage
there was like a 6 foot rule or something where if you're topless, you have to stay at the pole at all times. But in Huntsville, like you could have your top off, you could just motorboat whoever the fuck you want. You could even bring girls on stage and get them naked, basically, and grind on them. Like it's very just provocative and like
that sounds awful.
You know,
that sounds awful.
And it's go ahead.
Where exactly is that club? Where?
Yeah, right. Pony Bama.
Pony Bama. You heard it, guys.
Yeah. Don't follow me.
I think they like the word pony in their titles because there's a good one in Atlanta called the Pink Pony.
Yeah, and actually, I know the owner of that club.
Very nice. Yeah. I agree with you too. Now, so we've touched on this in other episodes. Montreal is amazing for dancing. Amazing. And then, even on the East Coast, whether it's like the New York area, the city or upstate, or Atlanta, and I'm assuming Atlanta and Alabama and Tennessee are similar. I am beyond disappointed. I don't even go to strip clubs in California. Like everything about it is like not fun. I mean, luckily Vegas is close and those are pretty good. But as a practitioner, California, it just seems restrictive on both sides. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, tell me, I might be wrong about this, but it's been a while since I've gone to one in California. But I'm not trying to say like I'm trying to be cheap, but it was like $20 a dance. Like that was like the way it went. Whereas if I was in a club in like Atlanta or anywhere on the East Coast, I might spend $40 or $60 over the course of like 3 or 4 dances and get a little camaraderie, right? The girl just a little friendly, like nothing over the top. But if you're like, I'm banging out $40 in like a 5-minute span, I'm not planning to necessarily spend like $3,000 that night. No offense, I'm not a millionaire, but it just seemed weird. Like I didn't get that. Like I don't know. The differences were.
I totally get that. There's a lot of rules, in California that they put on us, or we're just out of the club. And definitely we don't want to lose our job whatsoever. So it's like, we'll do whatever you say. Yeah. But in California, like when you're giving lap dances, you can't spend more than 10 seconds on the customer's lap.
Oh, that's interesting.
So, yeah. But I noticed like traveling and stuff because, I was on this really big road trip with my partner and, we spent like 1.5 years on the road living in a van. And, for work, I would go to strip clubs across the U.S. and work at. And between the West Coast, East Coast, and the South and whatever in between, like all the clubs were so different. And in New York, like I had to wear a dress. I was like, what the fuck? No. But, I made money. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that like it's hard to like give the fantasy when there's just so many rules.
Right.
And then you suffer in the long run because then it's less money for you at the end of the night.
Exactly. Yeah. And Alabama, they don't give a fuck. You grind on whoever you want for however long you want. And trust me, like I kind of have that rule in my head where like I don't want to be on the lap for too long because it is exhausting. It really is. So like you definitely want to go up and dance around and take breaks and stretch. Even like I find myself stretching like this, like all sexy, and I'll like bend over and start stretching. So like it's work. It's really work.
You're working in a yoga session in the middle of the lap dance.
Basically.
You're like, hold on, I need to downward dog. Like,
right.
Like, okay.
I'm going to downward dog, but don't touch my ass.
Yeah, don't touch me.
Oh, that's another thing too. Like in San Diego, no touching rule.
Yeah, there's no touching.
Alabama, you could touch. I have a weird thing though with like just people. I have this weird thing with people touching my hands. And if I have a weird thing about people touching my hands, then I have a weird thing with people touching my boobs. Just being touched throughout the night, 24/7 by hundreds of people it's like, it gives me anxiety. Like, I can't have people touching me throughout the night. It's just like, I'll give you a really good lap dance. Just don't touch me. Like, trust me, it'll be a good one. Just don't.
I think that's one of those things, like, you kind of, like, I can sense it, right? Like, if first of all, if you want the dance from that girl, great, that's what you're asking for, a dance. And if certain vibes or certain like synergy is happening, and like a little like touch on the shoulder or something, and she seems to be okay with it. But yeah, I can imagine sometimes you get, grabby guy. You're kind of like,
well, it's like, it's an energy exchange, like, if you can feel my energy, then I know, like, if I can feel your energy, you can feel my energy. And like, eye contact is a huge thing. I always make sure I have eye contact. I always make sure that I am with you at all times. And like, that's what people tend to forget. Like, they think of it as like a job. I think of it as a fantasy too. I really do. Like, I get to become somebody that I'm not, and it's really fucking fun. And I love what I do. And people know that I love what I do because it shows. Like, I'm fucking happy. This gives me chills. Sorry.
I think sometimes guys forget, if you're going in there and you're getting a lap dance, you're getting a lap dance from a woman, and guys, we're not, we're just hardwired to be able to fuck lots and lots and lots of girls and not have any emotion attached to that. Yeah. So you can't really expect, like, a woman, even though she's doing this for work, it's still way more emotional for her. It's harder for her to separate the emotions, because what if she's attracted to the guy? What happens if a guy walks through and it's that guy that's in her fantasy? What happens if if the guy reminds her of an old friend or like an ex or somebody that she doesn't like? So there's a lot that comes in play there. And I think, there's definitely like an etiquette. You have to know, like, and feel, it's like, bro, this isn't your bedroom. Like, you're in a club still, and it's a fantasy, and there's rules. But like you said, each state. Okay, so let me ask you a question. This is a great one. You traveled around the country, you said, and you worked at how many different clubs would you say? A dozen, 2 dozen?
Man, maybe like 10, maybe 15.
Okay.
Maybe 10, maybe 10.
10's that's a good number. So, and totally different,
but it could have been more.
Totally different states.
Yes.
Okay. So in the states that you worked at, would you say California was the strictest?
Yes.
Okay. And so if they were the strictest, who is the most lenient, where the people in the club, the management, are just like, we don't give a fuck what you do?
The South, hands down.
South.
I mean, when it comes to, here to fucking Kansas City, Missouri, like, I worked at an all nude club, and that was crazy. I wasn't all nude. I haven't done that, but I was able to work there and not take my clothes off. But I ended up making more money than the girls who took their clothes off. So, I mean,
one thing
less is more.
Yeah, exactly. The fantasy. One
thing I noticed around Atlanta, and this was even like through college, like when I'd go back to visit, and I still have some family there, but like, all right, so if you're like, I've never done this in California, group of like 15 people, 6 girls, 9 guys. Hey, it's like midnight. Hey, let's go to the strip club. Never done that as a group. In Atlanta, it'd be like midnight, parties kind of dwindling out. 10, 15 people in the party, like, hey, let's go to the Pink Pony. Even the chicks. And it's just because, like, it's still a bar, and it's like, it's still fun, and it's, I don't know, like, it is a little different. I don't know why it's like that, but maybe, I mean, I'm not trying to say anything about like women in California or the South are one's better than the other, but I did find that interesting.
Well, they involve the women, the customers, as well as the men. So like I said, if we see a chick at the tipping rail and she's tipping money, like, we'll bring her on stage and we'll take her top off and we'll motorboat those son of a bitches, even in the bathroom. Like, I've never done this before, and I've never seen anyone do it. But I had this couple, I took them into the VIP room, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something. I hope you're comfortable with it just as much as I'm comfortable with doing this topless. And that's another thing too. Topless dances are, like, everywhere except for California. So that's also pretty cool. But what I was going to say is in the VIP room, or not the VIP, but the dancing room, I was her and her boyfriend, and I took her top off, and then I unsnapped her bra, and we were dancing together, like for her boyfriend or husband, and like he thought that was so cool, and it's like I made this happen. Like they're so incredibly happy, and I gave them an experience that they're never gonna forget.
Yeah.
So, and I still haven't seen anybody dance with any couple topless. So I'm going to continue doing it because it makes them happy, and they're probably going to have crazy sex afterwards. So
that's what I was thinking.
I'm here for it.
That's a cool girlfriend or wife right there. That's, it's like, babe, let's go to the strip club. So Brian, where I had met Lorelei in San Diego, Pacers is very similar. It's this almost like nightclub atmosphere where the guys and girls come together. And because it's so close to downtown, so it's super common on a Friday night. Lorelei, what would you say? Like maybe 35% of the crowd is females?
Yeah.
Like, and lots of times, like just groups of females coming by themselves, like not even with guys.
Yeah.
So it's definitely changed, I think, with the demographics. Where you would never see like a 60-year-old woman with her husband at the club or 70-year-old woman at the club. But now it's like, 20-somethings, 30-somethings, 40-somethings. Yeah, no problem. Like they're all coming together,
I can't remember. Was Pacers on? It wasn't on Rosecrans or down Rosecrans?
Yeah.
Yeah, Midway Rosecrans area.
Yeah. I have at least been there at least once or twice when I lived there.
What would you say has the most aggressive men in it that come into the club, like around the country?
San Francisco.
Oh,
wow, really?
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah.
I never would have.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Tell me more about Frisco.
I loved it. Was a love-hate relationship. I loved it because I made the most money there. I hated it because I had the worst clientele there.
No shit.
The worst, absolute worst. You get your average like Indian taxi drivers. All right. They stink. Like I don't prefer dancing for Indians. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but I don't.
No. Yeah.
Anyway, and they're cheap. They're hella cheap. Yeah. So that was mostly the clientele that like Asian. It was very diverse. But no, like the first, like I always got VIP rooms, and like you'd have these crazy guys who just want to party. They're throwing cocaine up in the air. They're like trying to sniff it while you're just like in your blouse, like going like this so you don't get any contact. Like super aggressive partiers. Just, I had this one guy who like whipped his dick out, and I took my shoe off and I was like, I swear to God, like if you don't put that thing back in there, I'm gonna fucking stab you in the dick. I don't put up with dick play whatsoever at the club. No way.
Who were these guys?
Super aggressive.
So is this your gig economy? Like, is this your spillover from Silicon Valley guys that just have like oodles of money? Money doesn't get, so they just think there's no friggin' rules.
Tech guys. These are your tech guys.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Nerds.
Tech guys. They love to party. They really do. I've had basketball players come in, football players, rappers. I've danced from all. Baseball players like to spend money. They really do. Basketball players don't necessarily like to spend money. Rappers definitely don't spend money. But tech guys, they love to party, and they definitely love to spend money. So, but like I said, they're aggressive. Like I get tech guys everywhere. I get tech guys here. I get tech guys in San Diego. But the tech guys in San Diego or San Francisco, they just like expect things. They do.
They're entitled.
Yeah, very entitled. They would like have all these hundreds in their hands, and like they had rubber bands, and like they're just rude, very rude and disrespectful to your body. Like I remember this one time I was like topless, and he was like shooting rubber bands on my ass. And it's like, come on, I've been dancing for full on hour, and I'm sweating right now. And you have the audacity to shoot rubber bands at my ass. Like, come on, get a hold of yourself. But
sounds like first time at the strip club guy.
Yeah.
It's my first time. I brought rubber bands. Like, what?
Sounds like first time, like nouveau rich, like has more money than he knows what to do with, and thinks that that's, you know, that
there
money.
are some things that I will do for money, like drink some, like another dancer's breast milk for like, I think I got like $8,000 for it. Her and me, like we each got like $8,000 for drinking a shot of her breast milk.
God,
it was one of her regulars. She's like, "You want to come upstairs?" I was like, "Hell yeah!" She's like, "Yeah, this is my regular. He likes it when I, you know, squirt breast milk into his mouth. Like he'll pay you $8,000 to drink
I
it."
would drink.
Like,
yeah, I would drink breast milk for $8,000.
I'd do it again.
$80. $80.
$80. That's all. $80.
That's like 4 dances.
I know, dude. It's so crazy.
Hey, I'm gonna share a quick little one, and I'm gonna keep it kind of PG. I was at a club one time, and this is just because you said, you know, a guy pulled something out. I didn't do that, but I got pulled on stage. The girl pulled me out. We'll say, started pouring beer on it, and then went orally down there, or was attempting to, before one of the bouncers came over. I thought I was about to get a broken nose and 2 black eyes. He grabbed her by the back of the hair, pulled her off stage, and like at some point, like I got like pushed off because obviously I didn't instigate. But I'm good.
I'm the victim. I'm the victim.
Well, I was fine. I was fine with it. I knew it was probably wrong. Like I have great etiquette. Like, I mean, I'm greasing palms from the doorman to the bartender. But like, I'm giving the bartender 50 on the first round and wrapped in a credit card. So I'm like, my man, like if I just kind of give you like, you know, one of these, but you know, you got to take care of them because you know they're in for the long haul. We're there acting like assholes for 3 or 4 hours. But it was pretty funny. Like I don't think she got in any trouble. Like she was back on stage in like 30 minutes. She might have gotten to talking to.
What?
But my buddies that were there with me, like it is an epic story. If they get around me and they sniff that people have no idea about that story, they love to tell it. But it was pretty funny, dude. She started pouring her Heineken all over. And, you know, I was obviously, again, don't want to be too graphic, but I was obviously aroused. You know, so she's just dumping it all over. And I was like, what are we doing here? And then she tried to like, you know, I was like, and in my head, I'm like, I don't think this is going to end well for either of us.
That's so crazy. Holy shit. It
was fun.
So, I mean, that's so the breast milk story at $8,000, that's pretty insane. What has been your, and guys, I'm saying, like, I've seen her I mean, she is phenomenal. I just showed you the pictures that I had the chance to photograph and film of her, and seeing her in person dance is just, it's an art form. It's just like, we're not talking about some dumb bimbo on stage. Like she is just so sensual and sexy on stage. But what's been your best night? What's been like the night that was just like, holy shit, I cannot believe I just made this much money.
That's a good question.
I feel like breast milk night has to be in the running.
Yeah.
It was easy money though. Like if this is money that I had to work for, like consistently, it was probably at Pacers. I think I walked out of Pacers with over 2,000.
Wow.
Yeah. And my boyfriend is so cute. He like snapped a picture of me holding my like $2,000 in my hand, and he has it over his mirror. It's the cutest. It's cute. It's to motivate me, but
$2,000 in a night. That's absolutely phenomenal.
It is, yeah. And it's fucking blood, sweat, and tears for that money.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's, who. Well,
go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know. What were you going to say?
Oh, I walked into Pacers and I was like, this club is nothing like San Francisco, like, ow, fucker. This is like.
Pussy bites.
Ouch.
Pussy bites sometimes.
Yeah. I walked into Pacers when I first started working there, and I was like, this isn't San Francisco money. Like, what am I even doing here? And then, like, a year later, like, I started making, like, about $1,000 a night, sometimes two. And I I was like, this is crazy. This is so crazy. Like really awesome. And I'd rather be working at Pacers than at the Gold Club in San Francisco. Like that place is just so awful. It's beautiful. It really is. But it's just crazy. Like,
Do you ever do Vegas?
yes. I love Vegas.
Sapphire?
No, absolutely not. When I worked at Sapphire, I lost money instead of gained money. There was nobody at the club. It was all girls, and I had to pay my house fee. Wow. So I lost money. But I worked at Crazy Horse.
Oh, Crazy Horse. Yeah.
Crazy Horse. I worked at Spearmint Rhino. Shout out to John if you're watching.
I've been to all three of those.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I had both really good nights.
I had a great night, but it only lasted for like 30 minutes. And then I was broke.
Oh, man.
That is a den of vipers in Vegas. That is like you're Indiana Jones full on just falling into the pit of vipers in that place. And if you make one false move, they're just going to, there goes your wallet. It's just gone. It's like money is evaporated. Like
that's where I got my hustle skills from Vegas. You know, I got my like hard head there. Like I'm sweet. I really am. I play the sweet, innocent, like I've never done sex before, but you know, like, but then again, like, don't fuck with me. Like I will hurt you with my words.
How is the competition? I mean, how is it at a place? Because, you know, going from a place like Alabama, you know, I can't imagine that it's, you know, like a huge crowd. And same thing with Pacers. Like Pacers is great. You know, there's probably 200 people at the club in one given night, maybe 250. But I mean, those clubs in Vegas, I mean, are just so massive. Like, is it intimidating walking into a place like that, competing against literally like 200 to 300 other girls?
That's so funny you say that because yes, it is. It is very nerve-wracking. You're standing next to models. You're standing next to women who have better things than you, like boobs, you know? Like when I lose weight in my boobs. That's it. Like sad story. But I will tell you, my boyfriend has an app. He started an app to help me find clubs around the US that fit my profile. So
wow.
This app like shows me the clubs to work at that, you know, has less hotter chicks than me. And then I end up banking out that club because, you know, I'm a fine dime. And all the other girls, you know, it was like grungy, like so that also worked out for me too. Just I don't want to be standing next to models. Like I don't want to have to like work, you know.
You want to go in and be the big fish in the small pond, basically. You want to go in and take over a club. Exactly. That's smart.
That was the whole idea behind that app, was to help girls to find the club that works for them. Because like you walk into a club that your girlfriend did super well at, like she could be hotter than you. You're gonna go into that club and you're gonna be like, wow, I made no money. Well, every girl is different. So there you go.
So did you feel that, because we've talked about this in previous shows and we have a mutual friend in common that might come on the show, but nowadays I've brought this up and said that I feel today that there is this pressure on women, especially if they're modeling, dancing, anything, pretty much putting themselves online, that there's this constant pressure to make themselves look like their filters. So whatever their filters are on their phone, they're then going and getting plastic surgery done to make themselves look like their filters. And I can imagine and working in a place like Vegas where women have literally $50,000 worth of plastic surgery. How much pressure does that put on you? You know, do you just blow it off or does it wear you down after a while?
I feel like the more I'm on Instagram, the more it really gets to me. I feel like when I'm at the club, it's like not a big deal to me at all because I'm not really like focused on it. But then again, like when you see somebody on stage and they're making a shit ton more money than you are, and they have these nice, perfect big boobs, or they have like a button plants, or they're just like super skinny. And yeah, like it gets to you. It gets to me. I just got my lips done. Like I fell for it. So fuck, like, yeah, it does. But like, I feel like don't give in to it, because like, where are those people going to be 10 years from now? How are they going to look from now? Is it worth spending your money on, your hard-earned money? No, it's not. What's worth spending your hard-earned money is real estate, or just providing for your family. It shouldn't have to go towards your body at all, because like, you make it work. Guys are really interested, and they love like what you have, what's naturally there. So I mean, yeah, it definitely gets to me, but I don't let it get to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it totally does.
Yeah.
Do you feel that it leaves the realm of trying to improve yourself and more into an addiction for a lot of these girls? Do you feel that
feel like it leads to an addiction? Definitely. Because like, oh, I'm going to get my jaw done, or my like, I don't even know these things. Like, I'm so just out of the loop. Instead of, okay, my lips. So, like I had very birdie lips, but now it's like, I kind of want to go more. I want to go bigger, because you see these porn stars and they're sucking dick, and like their lips just are so juicy and wet, and like they're on the dick, and you're like, wow, like that's hot. Like I want to look like that for my boyfriend, or I want to look a certain way for him, or just people in the club, or for my confidence. And that's the one thing. Like if it fucks with my confidence, then like, I'd rather stop working at the club, or just eliminate whatever social media I have, because my confidence is what makes me sexy. So
yeah, I would agree. I would definitely agree, because guys, I'll tell you, I mean, this is one of the first times I've ever seen Lorelei in lipstick. Majority of the time, she is walking through the club, and such like a natural beauty that I think that she stands out from the rest of the girls, because you're like, wait a minute, that looks like a normal girl right there. Because she doesn't have any of this crazy work done on her. So she kind of like pops. What I was going to ask was, I know you're like, what do I say? What I was going to ask was, Brian, you got anything? I just kind of lost my train of thought. Do you want to pick up from there?
Yeah, I don't want to judge anybody, but man, I have never seen, and now Lori, this is the first time I've ever seen you, so I think you just look beautiful.
Thank you.
I've like someone that I've known, or an actress or something that I've seen, and then they get work. I've never been like, oh, that's an improvement. I've always been like, dude. But again, like I'm a flaws guy. Like it's come up before. Like example I always use, and because I know there's a period of time. I think she's talked about that. The singer-songwriter Jewel, like she kind of has her front two teeth. First of all, she's got a beautiful smile, but they are what some would call crooked. I think it's one of the sexiest things about her. Like if she did something like, I don't know. I think flaws and scars are kind of cool, quote unquote flaws.
Yeah.
But I understand insecurities too. Like I know people maybe got like a little something changed. But in general, like that butt implant thing should be fucking outlawed. Like that is the fucking dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
The price of it is just crazy. The price of any work done to your body is just like, that's a night's worth of working. Was it worth it? Is it worth it? Like, sure, you're going to make it up next month, or, the next night, but no, like
it's dangerous too. I mean, just getting all this work done and going under for surgery and getting anesthesia, like it's a very dangerous thing. I was going to say, I remembered what I was going to say. So the way women look, being a model photographer and having done this for over 20 years now. Before that, I was always interested as a kid in trends and like fashion and the way women look. I'm justifying the bikini model posters in my bedroom. But basically, like what I've seen is that through the decades, what people in society view as beauty has changed dramatically. Like in the 90s, it was the chic heroine look.
Yes.
And all the girls
skinny and
yes. And nobody wanted girls with big butts. Nobody wanted girls with huge boobs. It was very like really skinny, and that's what beauty was. Now people won't look at those girls as hot anymore. So what worries me now is all of these girls doing all this just augmentation to their body and changing themselves. 10 years down the road, people are going to be like, yeah, that's not hot anymore. Sorry.
Yeah.
I want to make one little caveat. I think even in the 90s, mi amigos, La Sur de Border, have always kind of loved a little bit of a bigger backside.
Really?
Like, I don't know, well, I always said, so when I first moved to California, the first place I ever lived in California and moved to was Lake Tahoe on the California side, because the only person I knew that lived in California lived in Lake Tahoe on the California side. And we just got jobs as like dishwashers, right? At like Caesar's Palace. And a guy that lived there longer than us, he was this like snowboard guy. He worked at this other place, and we'd go there late night to drink. And a couple of these Mexican dudes that worked there were so fucking cool. And they would always like, they kind of see like these like quote unquote white girls we'd bring in. And they kind of like give me like a little elbow. They'd be like, hey, why not? Like they make these motions like, why so small, talking about their ass. They'd be like, no, grande es bueno.
No way.
Yeah, they were so funny, dude. Like they were great. But that's a totally different culture, obviously, I'm talking about. I think, John, you're totally right. We're talking about like in the States and stuff. I want to give a quick shout out to Blue Sands, who's given out some great comments, by the way. I'm not sure.
That's my mom.
Oh, nice.
Hi, Mom.
Very cool. Very cool. Love the support. Yeah. Love the support.
It's my number one fan.
Captain Clint Torres loves moms. That's all I'll say.
We all should love moms. They put so much hard work and
advice.
We love moms. We love moms, definitely. and moms love us.
Easy.
She's hot too.
She was saying good genes in the chat, so I'd imagine so.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's change gears a little bit and let's talk about before we're coming up on. We're almost going to be out of time. I know you have to go to work and stuff, but let's talk about you. Let's talk about you, Lorelei. Let's tell us about yourself. Like, what do you like to do? When you're not working, what do you do with yourself?
I fall into a routine of, waking up, getting my morning coffee because I'm a coffee addict, and just see where that takes me. But I really wake up in the morning and I'm like, I want to fucking destroy myself in a badass workout. I really enjoy working out. I feel like the club builds so much just toxic energy, sometimes good energy, but it's just so much just energy in my body. And I need to get it out. So I will work out for 2 hours a day. And, that really helps me.
What do you do?
Well, I just started doing TRX. I do yoga. I do, Pilates. I just started lifting. Just a variety of different things. I used to ride my bike in San Diego for 5-10 miles a day.
Wow.
Yeah, fucking crazy. But you can't ride a bike here. There's no bike lanes and people will run you over because they don't give a fuck here. So I'm not riding the bike anymore, but come summer I'll be back on that shit. I really enjoy meeting people.
I have a feeling you work out, the amount that you work out, you could take probably 10 people in that state and you work out more than they do combined in a week.
Yeah,
they like their barbecue and deep fried butter. And
well, it's funny, you'll get out of the grocery store and there's people with their carts and it's just filled with Mountain Dew and, all the sodas and man, it's bad. Just the way
What do you think about the food there? I know we've been stuck in COVID. I don't know if you've been out the local restaurants, but
yeah, the mask. I haven't been wearing my mask. I don't wear my mask.
Okay.
Yeah. The mask mandate actually lifted a month ago. So
Georgia and Bama are pretty rebellious. Georgia's kind of
over here.
Yeah. Fits her perfectly.
Yeah. Sorry, what was your question again?
Like, what kind about the food, like in general, compared to Southern California? Yeah, do you like it? Is it just different, or are you okay with it, or do you just cook for yourself?
I love cooking for myself. I love when my man cooks for me. He makes amazing fucking food. But I love California food, hands down, hands fucking down. I'm vegan, so it's a bit not too much of a challenge to find places because like they'll help you out. You know, they'll make something on the side for you, but it's expensive either wise. It's expensive eating vegan, but there's not a lot of options, not a whole lot. It's up and coming, and I see that, but you know, you just go to your, you know, local, like what you're used to eating. So yeah, I like cooking for myself, and I like being cooked for. So
because I'm assuming Billy
South
Ray's,
isn't big for vegans.
Billy Ray's barbecue pit probably doesn't have a lot of vegan. Unless the fried pickles count.
Yeah, they could. I don't like pickles though.
It's like culture shock for Lorelei. I just picture like one of those funny like 80s movies of like the LA person coming into like the southern town, and suddenly everybody's like stopping, and you know, like the ladies are like putting their hands in front of their husband's eye, like, you know, oh, who's that? And she's just like, you're like, could I have some avocado toast? And the person's like, with the spare ribs, right? No, just the avocado toast with chicken. No, just the avocado toast and tri-tip, right? No, just the avocado toast. Damn it! Like,
well, it's funny. I was trying to look for a juice bar just the other day, so I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking use some juice right now," and I couldn't find one. I was like, "Can I find like a local smoothie shop or like, you know, just somewhere like nice by the beach? Can I get that? Is that too hard?"
Well, in all honesty, you can just open up your own shop with all, you know, the loot.
Their juice is screwdrivers and greyhounds, right? Like
or moonshine.
It doesn't have alcohol in it.
Dude, one of the classics, and God forgive me, I can't remember if this was Missouri or if this was like Alabama or Georgia, but have you ever had what they call OJB?
No.
Orange juice and beer. I'm dead serious. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What's up with I've heard that.
It's big at tailgating, like before those SEC football games. Like, hey, dude, you want an OJB? No, bro. One or the other. No. Like, I don't need those mixed.
Yeah, Laura, it's like Coors Light or like Coors Light with orange juice.
Have you had that?
I've tried. Yeah, I had to. I was. Yeah, it's guys, you have to go through weird drinking rituals sometimes.
Yeah.
So
I couldn't. Unless it was like I could maybe like do like a seltzer, if that counts. And orange juice, like sure.
Yeah, White Claw. So are you big into shows, movies, nerd fandom, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings? What are you?
Big Game of Thrones fan up in here.
There we go.
Also, oh man. Okay, there's this other show that's like superhero-ish, but it like turns an evil. There's like an evil twist to it. It's called oh my God, what is it called?
The Boys?
The Boys, yes. I fucking love that show.
Yeah.
And I just started a new show. And it's called The Innocent, but it's in Spanish with English sub. And that also is really, really cool. But growing up, like it was mostly Star Wars. You know, for my birthday, my brother's birthday, he had a Star Wars themed birthday at Chevy's, and you know, George Lucas just casually was there and you know helped us celebrate my brother's birthday. So
no way.
He was at Chevy's with his daughters, and my mom was like, "Yo, is that George Lucas?" And she's like, "It is." So we all got a picture, and he like sang happy birthday for my brother, and he was like, I really like that, you know, it's all Star Wars. Like I created Star Wars. And my brother's like 5 years old. He's like, really? Like I'm a big fan. And it was a cool moment. So Star Wars was definitely what it was all about growing up.
George Lucas at Chevy's.
I'm fucking Chevy's in like Puerto Madera. Right? Like crazy, huh?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
How old were you? How old were you at the time?
I was probably, so I think my brother was like 6. So I was like 7 when this happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Brian?
I really liked in The Boys in the second season when they had the superhero bang.
I know.
Right?
I fucking know.
Right?
Dude, that show had me on my fucking just knee. I was so weak. I'm so weak.
We've never seen it, right? Like we've in the Marvel universe, like John and I, we'll ask our guests sometimes questions, which character would you want to be? But then which of the other characters would you want to have sex with? Like things like that. But yeah, that's because you don't see it, but yeah, they were kind of flying around, banging midair.
Yeah.
Like, that was good stuff. John, did you watch The Boys?
No, not yet. I haven't gotten into that one yet. Yeah.
Okay.
She, I'll tell you what she would probably like is she would like the Nevers.
The Nevers.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
So we're reviewing a show right now, The Nevers. It's on episode number 5, and it started on HBO. Okay. And it is a mixture of sci-fi fantasy meets Victorian London.
Ooh.
With a very heavy feminist twist to it.
I like that.
In a good way.
In a good way. Not the third wave current feminist stuff, but like actual like women's suffrage kind of feminist kind of like way. And it's, if you can make it past the first couple of episodes, I'm not going to lie, it's very strange. It's very difficult to kind of figure out what's going on, but then suddenly it just clicks and you're like, oh, whoa, this show is deep. And
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max. So why don't we just jump into some culture questions, some rapid fire culture questions, Bri, and go for it.
We like the. Do you watch the Marvel movies?
Yes, religiously. Okay. I love them.
Okay. All right, so I think it's gonna become a staple question, and John and I can give you ours too. All right, so who is, just in general, who is your favorite Marvel character? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, I love Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
We'll count that. And if you could be, then it doesn't have to be Wonder Woman, but if you could be a superhero, which other superhero would you want to like be your boyfriend or girlfriend or have sex with or whatever? Like, so you have like a superhero, like you're one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably Thor. I'd probably want to have sex with Thor.
Wait. Hold on. I like it.
Oh, wait. No, did I get it wrong?
But no. But who would you be? Would you be?
Oh, who would I
be? Yeah.
Oh.
Or would you just be yourself? You're like, I'm good. I'll just take Thor and that's called.
Oh, I'm not that conceited. No.
Give me that hammer.
Right. So, okay, if I could be a superhero from Marvel, what superhero would I be?
Yeah, so I'll give you an example. So here's mine. Do you know Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Yeah.
So I would be the Wasp.
Okay.
But shrunken down Wasp, and I'd take it from the Hulk.
What the fuck was wrong with you? That's really bad.
You're
dead. You're dead. What? Is this a weird fetish you got going on? Because I've never heard this before.
Shock value. Just shock
value.
He
likes the expansion theory that would happen.
My brain is just still trying to like get that.
I know. I heard that a couple of weeks ago, and I'm still pondering the physics of the whole thing. So
yeah. Oh, okay. So you remember in the last movie, that like 3-hour movie?
Yeah, Endgame?
Yeah.
Endgame.
Yeah.
Endgame.
Yeah.
I would probably want to be I'd probably want to be Batman. No, was it Batman? No, it was Superman, when he's like just has every single power in his body and he's like fighting the Avengers, you know?
You mean you wanted to be what's his name? The purple guy. Jesus.
Vision?
No. You're talking about the guy who has the Thanos. Yeah. You want to be Thanos who has the gauntlet with all the powers?
No, Superman. I'd want to be Superman.
Oh, so you're talking the new DC movie that just came out.
Oh yeah, is that? I get so confused with DC and
superheroes. It counts. Superheroes count.
It counts.
So,
it counts. Yeah.
So Superman. You'd be Superman, and who would you do?
I would probably do Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd probably do Wonder Woman. She's pretty badass.
I think the Earth would shatter.
Bang Thor, my previous answer.
Yeah, we've also declared Thor of all the whether it's a he or she actor in Marvel or DC, regardless of character, Thor is the hottest. That's the sexy
hands down.
Yeah.
And the dude
I'm not into blonde guys, so that's
but that dude Hemsworth is ridiculous.
Oh, he's crazy.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
He's crazy.
Yeah. All right, so let's go. We'll jump over some Game of Thrones since you're a Thrones girl.
It's been a while, so
okay. Favorite character?
Oh man, my favorite character, probably the Queen.
Cersei Lannister.
Cersei's, yeah, she's evil. She's super evil and vindictive. Ooh,
oh, dude,
I like a fierce chick, you know.
She steps on some dicks. That's for damn sure.
I think she can be. You can make a case for her top 10 villain in movies or television of all time.
She was the worst.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that, Brian. Yeah. I mean, let's think about this. She's fucking her twin brother. She's fucking her cousin.
Killed her husband, the king.
Killed her husband, the king. Tried to kill how many other people? Has Hitler as her son.
Yeah.
Banged the cousin in there too, right?
Yeah, I got bang the cousin, Loris.
The more you guys keep talking about banging family members, I'm just more like, yep, I wish I changed my answer. Now I feel disgusting.
You are in Alabama, so
I wish we had more time because like fathers bring in their 18-year-old daughters to celebrate their birthdays, and they're just like giving them money when they dance on stage because we do this thing called the hot seat. And the girl takes off her top. The birthday girl takes off her top, and we dance for her. And she climbs the pole or works the pole, and the dad's just cheering her baby girl on. Ew. And then she sat on his fucking lap afterwards. Yikes. Disgusting. So disgusting.
I want to answer Blue Sands real quick. Khaleesi or Daenerys is the name you're looking for of the girl with the dragons. Daenerys. Where there's questions from Blue.
Okay, so let's do
Prince or Michael Jackson?
Prince.
Yes, correct answer.
Yes.
John.
I wanted to jump back and say, okay, same scenario with the Marvel, but in Game of Thrones. Which character are you, and who do you have sex with from Game of Thrones?
Daenerys having sex. I mean, come on. Of course I'm having sex with Jason Momoa. Whatever. Fuck. Is there anything better than that?
By the seaside? Yeah.
In that situation? Come on, that's easy.
You don't know what the hell he's saying. He's speaking another language. You're like, I don't care. You're
give a fuck.
Eyeshadow on.
Yeah, right? I don't know why, but that's kind of hot. That's weird.
I got one other question. Last season of Game of Thrones, yay or nay?
Nay.
Okay.
Incorrect.
Nay. I don't know. It could have been worse in a good way. She could have died a horrible fucking death, and we'd all be happy. But come on, collapsing under a fucking your castle that you huh?
So yeah. So you guys are both under the impression that she's definitely dead.
Oh, 100%.
Don't even get me started.
Okay.
I will go on with this situation. Yeah, she's dead. She has to be dead.
Yeah, it's way too much rubble. The whole entire roof of the place collapsed on top of her and Jamie. Yeah. So
I'm gonna be grinding on some guy tonight, just thinking about that question. Is she really dead?
John, what do the Greyjoys say?
What was that?
What do the Greyjoys?
If you don't see him die. Oh, those are not dead. The drowned god.
That what is dead may never die.
What is dead may never die.
Yeah, I think HBO has this crazy plan to make a shitload of money. I think in 10 years, Arya is only going to be about 30, Sansa's going to be 32, Jon Snow's only gonna be like 36. It's coming back, and it's gonna come back and blow our fucking minds. I don't think.
Wait, was Jon Snow really that young?
Yeah.
Yeah, those chicks are young.
Yeah, they were
14 when they started, right?
Yeah. Arya. Oh yeah, geez, Arya was like 11.
Yeah. What the fuck?
And, I mean, in the books, did you do the books? Did you read the books or do the audiobooks?
No, but
Just
I
the
made
show?
money from the guy who wrote the books up in New York.
What's that?
The guy who wrote Game of Thrones. I was invited to his table when I was working at a club in New York, Sapphire. And yeah, I had no idea it was him, but he was like, yeah, I wrote Game of Thrones, the book. And I was like, that's cool. That's really cool. But he gave me a lot of money. So
wait, so you ran into George R.R. Martin in a strip club?
I guess that's his name. Yeah, I did. He invited me to his table. And he's like, I like you. And I was like, I like you too.
Yo, John, that dude goes out. There's this other hilarious story.
Yeah.
So
he's with all his bitches. He had just bitches all in his table. And he wanted me. I was like, oh God. Cool.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah. There's this dude that does a sports show they call him Stugatz. Long story short, he was somewhere out here in California, but not like a huge venue. It was this is like 2 years ago. It was a dead show, right on the beach. And when I say a dead show, like Bob Weir, like Rat Dog, like right,
Yep.
like, and these shows don't really get packed like they obviously did in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Anyways, R.R. Martin is there. This guy Stugatz has zero fucking clue who this guy is, but he's wearing a Jets hat. And R.R. Martin's a huge Jets fan, and they're both
Jersey. Yeah.
So long story short, the coins, like these coins that are desperate for some people, like they want these Game of Thrones coins so bad.
Oh, the Vala Morghulis coins. Yeah.
I guess he gave this Stugatz guy like a handful of them.
What?
Oh my God.
George R.R. Martin turns to walk away. Stugatz still has no idea who it is and just starts throwing them in the ocean and skipping them like they're rocks.
Oh my God.
He comes back like 3 weeks later and starts telling the story on air. He does a massive show out of Miami with Dan Le Batard, and everyone listening is just like, dude, how, for one, do you not know what Game of Thrones is? 2, who George R.R. Martin is? Because that guy you see that guy, nobody on the planet looks like him. And 3, you just threw away these coins that like 50 million people on Earth would give thousands of dollars for.
Thousands of dollars.
This is the first time I've heard about these coins. Like they're worth hella money?
Tell will know more about it than I do.
So remembering Game of Thrones, the no face man, Jaqen H'ghar gave Arya Stark the coin of Bravos, and it was the Vala Morghulis coin, and he said, "Show this to any person in Bravos, and they'll point you to where I am." So that's the coins that he walks around with, is these Vala Morghulis, which means oh geez, I can't remember what it translates to. It's I just saw it the other night. I was just watching it, but I'm with you. 8th season, like I was throwing shit at the screen. I was throwing my shoe at the screen. I was like, what the hell is going on? What is this garbage? Like, and Brian loved it. Brian's the opposite. Brian loved the 8th season. So we're going to actually do a stream someday. That's good. We know you're a Game of Thrones fan, because we'll bring you back for the stream. We're going to have like an all out, like, now that Game of Thrones has ended, it's years on. We're going to have this big battle and discuss like the Game of Thrones. We're going to go for like 2 hours and just deep dive. Now
I got to rewatch it. My homegirl right now, Sammy, she's rewatching it, so I got to get on that train with her.
I just started doing it again too, and I have to say, like I'm in the minority here. I have zero problem with any episode, any season. I think the whole thing was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
We'll have a battle.
So on YouTube, Lorelei, you'll probably love this. There's a YouTube channel called Natalie Gold, and the girl is just adorable. And she started a YouTube channel during the quarantine where she does reaction videos to shows and movies and Marvel, and because she never really watched that stuff. So we're getting to see how her impression was the first time. She's doing Game of Thrones right now. So she'll watch like 4 episodes and they cut it up, but you get to see her like real reaction, and it's like reliving the moment with her. She shows what scene it is, and you see she's just like, like,
that's so smart.
Yeah. She's got over 100. She's got over 100,000 followers in like a year, which is amazing. But
people are getting creative during quarantine. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
People are doing porn that I never thought were doing porn, and they're like killing it. I'm like, what? Where did this come from? You're like that shy, innocent girl in the club, and now you're doing porn. What?
Yeah. We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
So real quick, do you have like 7 more minutes left?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm chilling. I'm all ready for work, so we can take however long.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So what we're going to do is basically we have a segment called Women Crush Wednesday, and I'm going to run a trailer real quick, and then we'll come back. And what we do is I pick my favorite women crush. Brian gives his, and Lorelei, if you have one this week, you can give one as well. And we'll pull it up on screen, and give me 1 second because I'm going to find this, and we're going to roll the intro. Hold on for that. So, and let's go ahead and pull up another hottie. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this girl right here. This is Lorelei Soto. And that's you. So you are in the process of doing something pretty big right now, aren't you?
I am.
Online. What are you doing?
Okay. Well, it's not a big secret, but I am running for Maxim magazine right now, and I'm currently in 2nd place, and the cut for top 5 ends tomorrow. So I'm currently in 2nd, so I'm going to be running up for top 5 tomorrow. But yeah, and I wanted to do this because I just wanted to step out of my comfort zone and kind of make myself a little bit more public to the eye than, just in the club, because, like, show what you got, like, we're all just, having fun.
Hey, I bet who's been telling you that for years, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, like we're put on this earth to, like, why care? Why care so much about, like, what people think, or why care that you're gonna get embarrassed, or that one person is gonna call you out on whatever type of shit? It's just like, have fun with it, roll in it. At the end of the day, we're all gonna die. We're gonna end up in the same place. So, like, fucking live your fucking life to the fullest. And so I took it, started doing this shit, and I'm excited.
Love it. No, love it. Very nice.
Yeah.
I'll jump on. I'll go vote. I'll send the link out, get some votes for you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Guys, if you go to Lorelei's profile, she has the link to her Maxim vote here in her description of her bio. You just click this link, right? You come over here. It's super simple, guys. They ask you if you have a Facebook page. Brian, that might be difficult for you, actually, but there's ways around it. You just create. Brian doesn't have Facebook, but you just go on there and you just log in with your Facebook. That's what I did. And you can literally just vote each day. I already voted today, or else I would do it live. So I've been just clicking on this every day for you, trying to get votes. So let's get our girl in that Maxim contest. Let's get her the cover girl search. Cause I mean, look at that. I mean, look at that photo. So, she can definitely.
Who wouldn't want a signed copy of Maxim magazine, right? Like, come on.
Hey, John.
Oh my God. Right.
Hey, John, by the way, I think it's the Facebook.
The Facebook. You're right.
Is it the Facebook?
The Facebook. That's what it's its own entity at this point.
I'm still figuring out mine. So,
Yeah, that's funny.
So we could check out. So, and also, guys, make sure to go follow Lorelei on her page here on Instagram. You can check her out and all the sexy photos that she posts, just like this. So,
it's so funny. The other day I was scrolling through my comments on my pictures. I know that's a weird thing to do, but like, you forget comments sometimes. Yeah. And I came across this one comment, and it was like, oh yeah, it was this one where the guy was like, he was like, I want to lick all the honey out of all your holes or something. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's so nasty. Like,
you're like, yeah, that's great, guy, but you know how sticky that is. Like,
it's a good shoot idea too.
It's a good shoot idea, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll talk to my dad and tell him that's a little uncalled for.
Yeah, tell him not to bother me at the club anymore.
Yeah, I'm really stoked for you because I've always thought I love the shots that these are shots that I knew of before we shot together, and I was always thinking like, yeah, you got to get out there, you got to definitely put yourself out there. You've got that model figure, that awesome figure. So
it really helps, to have a supportive boyfriend and a supportive family. My mom, like I said, my mom and my boyfriend are just like my number one fans, and my boyfriend has taken all of my pictures, so it's him to thank for the beautiful quality and just
awesome
capturing that moment. So I'm truly grateful for him and everything he's done. And working with you, John, you've definitely.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, you. But yeah,
you're very welcome.
Moments of me in the club, and that's real. It's super real. So yeah, I'm grateful.
So guys, they can check you out here, Lorelei, right, on Instagram.
Yes.
And it's Slow Like Honey, so you can go follow her. And
Slow,
then where else?
With 2 Y's.
With 2 Y's at the end, guy. Honey with 2 Y's at the end. And then tell everybody out there where else they can find you.
You can find me working at Pony Bama in Alabama. You could find me on my Instagram posting, mainly just working at the club. During the summer, you can find me in San Diego at Pacers. I'll be there during the summer. And I guess basically just stay tuned for where I'm going to be bouncing around, because you never know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Did you have fun?
That was fun.
You had fun? Cool.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we'd love to have you back in the future, especially when we do
this is so much fun.
Yeah, when we do the Game of Thrones showdown, that's
we'll get you in.
Yeah, and I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it so that like I'll be on one side, Brian will be on the other. We'll have Steve in there as well, and then we're gonna pick models on our squads that are gonna be part of our like debate team, basically. So. Yeah, well, you'll definitely be on mine because we're both A season haters right there. So, but I really appreciate you coming on today. I know you got to get to work. We're gonna roll on and talk some Star Wars Bad Batch. So you're more than welcome to hang out if you want to hang out for the rest of the show and talk Star Wars.
Mama's gonna go make some money,
Mama's gonna go make some money. That's awesome.
Cool. But yeah, no, I had fun. These were really great, And for all the people that are watching, thank you so much for watching. And I love you guys.
Go vote.
Yes,
go vote. Go vote. Go make sure you vote for Lorelei. Maxim Cover Girl search. Let's get her up there. Come on, guys. Get out there. Sign up. That's awesome. Thanks, Lorelei. We'll check you later.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.